Hello, everyone. If you want to get inspiration, motivation, and hacks about life, career, and writing, this is the channel for you. I am ERR Stories, and welcome to Life Thoughts and Inspirations TV.
Hello to all our teachers out there. I am ERR Stories, and welcome back to another online teaching tips and techniques episode that we have today. And today, I will be teaching you how to use one of the most popular social media websites as a tool to teach your students online. I actually will recommend this social media platform if your students are in senior high school or are in college already, because of course, when we talk about social media, we talk about a lot of postings happening around. So it's really best if your students are matured enough to handle the social media accounts for you to be able to use this as an academic platform. And the social media is, of course, no other than Facebook. So today I'll be giving you some tips on how you can make use of Facebook as a online learning tool for you to teach your students. So let's have a shared screen. I will be sharing with you my screen. Basically, for Facebook, there, so you're seeing my screen. We've seen Facebook as a social media tool, but in the recent times, we also have realized that Facebook is also a good tool to teach students online, especially with what's happening around. We have to be able to adapt to the changes and to the challenges brought about by the current situation that we have. So, of course, what I'll be discussing is about FB groups. If you have not really explored what FB group is, let me show you or give you a run through. So you go to home. Okay. When you go to home, you have to go to groups here. Okay. Click on groups. Okay. So there, you can actually create your own group over here. When you create group, okay, it will ask you to name your group, add some people, and select also the privacy. So if, for example, you are handling the subject, like let's say literature, and there's a particular section, so you can name that group as let's say grade 12 Einstein, so something like that. And then you write it here, the name of your group. And then after writing it there, you can add some people here. I know some groups would have as many as thousands, hundred thousands of members. But I really recommend that you just limit it to one class maybe. Or if you want like a type of learning that is more, how do you call this, more really coordinative or collaborative learning, you can add up to 2 to 3 sections if you're handling that much. So you write down there, you add them up here. And then in terms of privacy, since this is more of a class, I would really recommend that you choose private. So meaning when it's called private, only those who are members of the group will be able to see that FB group. Okay, so now, for example, let's say you've already created an FB group. We now go to the Facebook group that you are in. So I have my own FB group, which is called Life and Love Thoughts and Inspirations, for those who would like to share their positivity, inspirations, and good vibes. But we'll use this one as a sample of our discussion. Okay. So of course, in here, this is what we call as the cover photo. You can actually change this to maybe your class picture or thumbnails of your pictures in via Zoom. Okay, so post it here. And what's good here is you can get to write your assignments, your topics for discussion. Okay. In here, post it here. And you can tag your students. What's good also is you can actually categorize. Here, you can create a topic that your students will use whenever they post something. So for example, we've mentioned earlier that you're handling a literature class. So let's say for your literature class, you can write here, writing tips. Okay, and then save it as a topic. Okay. So it's still loading. Now, once you've created the topic, you can ask your students to, for example, post here their thoughts about that particular thing. And let's say, personally, example, I'm acting as a member of the group of the FB group or as a student. Personally, I suggest that for stories to be memorable, you have to add experiences that readers will be able to relate. So after that, so that you know that they're answering a particular topic, they can actually add post topic here. So remember, we've created one earlier. We call it writing tips, right? So it will appear here. It's just loading. W-R-I-T. Oops. W-R-I-T-I-N-G. So there, for example, you've written it down there. Just post. Okay, you can just post it, and you would know as a teacher what is the story about, what did they post about. Okay, another good thing here in Facebook group is you can actually create, okay, look at this guys, you can click more here and you can create a document that they can check on it, or even create an event. And what's good also is you can also upload files. So add file. When you click add file, if you have available materials that you wish to be shared to the group, you can do so. So choose file. Although the maximum size of the file that you can upload is actually only 100 MB. So choose a file. And then you can, so for example, this photo, basic education. So click open, and then there, and then post. So all the handouts that you've prepared can be posted here and be readily available to your students. Okay. Apart from that one, what's good with FB group is now, if you are the moderator or the administrator, you can actually schedule your posts. So that means as a teacher, you can plan ahead your topics, like something that you wish to discuss, and then post it there as a scheduled post so that you won't need to be online most of the time. This is good if, for example, your students are doing asynchronous learning, meaning they don't really have to attend classes personally via online. Like they just have to study on their own, and you as a teacher, you are the moderator or you're the guide or the facilitator. So you can just post it here and then schedule the posting. You can plan ahead or map it out. So there, cancel. All right, I won't schedule that one. Okay. And then apart from that, You can also, what's good here is there's also a votation part here. I'll show you how. Wait, let's delete it. There is something like a poll section here. Okay, wait, let's reload it. Isn't it amazing? You get to know that, you know, FB group is also a good tool for online learning. But like what I said earlier, just make sure that before you start using this, make sure that you have guidelines you discuss with your students so that you will have the parameters in terms of what to post, the guidelines, right? So there will be respect and openness at the same time. There. Okay. So now, when you post something also in the group, you can actually do poll as well. You can conduct a poll. So for example, you can ask here, who is your favorite author? If you are still in the literature class. So there. You can post a question here and then add options, and then the poll goes on, right? So that's nice. And another one is, for example, you post a topic. Like I posted something here. So maybe, for example, this one, you can post a YouTube link. Watch this link to the story about blah, 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 post the link. Comment what your realizations are. So they can comment here. And you would see how, you know, students can be very responsive in terms of commenting. So there. Apart from that, you'd also see who are the most active members in the group. Like in here, there's group insights. So take a look at this. There. So you'd see the total number of members, the comments, and what's the there, when are they most active. You can actually find a common time to discuss things, right? And more engagement details. So in here, you'd see which of your topics are the students are really interested to discuss with their, which dates are they active, then the time here, the popular posts. Okay, so you would also know if your students have seen it or not yet, or they have challenges in the internet. So there, you'd see that, right? So events, you can also create events. Like in here, we have Bible study, created events. So there. It's so easy, actually. It's so easy. Now, if for example, your class is over, your class is done, and you'll just be starting a new class, you can actually just archive the group, and voila, it would be not available anymore, or you can remove first the members of the group before starting a new one. So there, I hope I was able to help you out, to guide you, dear teachers, in using Facebook, especially FB group, as a mode of online learning. This is again recommended if your students are already in college or senior high school, because more or less they have a feel of social media and they more or less know how to manage postings. All right, I don't recommend this if your students are in grade school, because they might be more they might not be focused with learning anymore, because of course they'd be seeing things around. So I'd really recommend not to use this for grade schoolers. What else? Please set parameters when using Facebook as an online learning. And then the third tip is, of course, since this is a free source online learning platform, you won't be able to ask help from school administrator to monitor whatever this is, whatever if there are technical difficulties and the likes. But the advantage of this part is, since it's Facebook, it's more accessible to almost everyone. And sometimes in some countries or even here in the Philippines, some providers offer Facebook for free for a certain number of hours. So that would mean the students will be able to access even if they don't have a strong internet connection and they're just relying in their data connection. So that's the advantage of, Facebook in some ways. So thank you very much again, dear teachers. I hope I was able to help you out. I will be coming up with more videos of teaching tips and techniques for online teaching so that I'll be able to help you guys have a successful online teaching experience, and hopefully it will really help you reach out to your students. This has been ERR Stories. Thank you very much and God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to your friends. And yes, always remember Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Bye-bye!